RowdCAST contains adult languages, adult themes, and adult situations. Viewer discretion is advised.
No! No! No!
RowdCAST, an online radio show brought to you weekly by me, your host, Rowdy Radloff, comes straight from Toledo, Ohio, with our many cast of characters. I am live, I am uncensored, I am unfiltered, and I'm coming right to your ears, right to your brain, so listen up, because it's going to be a hell of a show. This is the RowdCAST, and I am your host, Rowdy Radloff. There's only one buddy that does it like me. I'm a somebody, but, I'm, doing this episode, by myself, because I felt like, it would be a good time to reflect, man. I, unfortunately, over the weekend, had some bad news that happened to me, that a good friend, kid I've known, since junior high, passed away, and, I spent a lot of time with this dude, and he was a solid cat, man. He's a one-of-a-kind, heart of gold person that you only meet once in your life, and it's really sad to see him go at 28 years old. That's the age, that's how old I am. You're not supposed to be dying at 28. You're not supposed to be dying at all, and that's unfortunately for me. The last couple years have been a lot of deaths, a lot of friends. A lot of people's brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, daughters, brothers. I think I already said brothers, but it's sad, man, and it's not all for the same reasons, but a lot of them for the same reason, and it's really, really hard to, if you understand where I came from, and I'm sure a lot of people can't understand what it's like from being from Bellevue, where we're from. It's a little town. There's nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's little secrets. And that's just kind of how it is. It's not a big city. It's not the normal, you don't acquire drugs the same way you would acquire them in a bigger city. And you know, it's criminal if you see the way that pills have taken over, and especially these small towns, taken over completely, but to how much they've taken over these small areas and these rural areas. I've seen it so much; it's ridiculous, and it spreads like wildfire. And these are things that the doctors are prescribing people. These are legally given to people. You can get a prescription from a doctor. If you know a doctor, you could have them write you a prescription. That's truly how it is. And these things are the most addictive. It's heroin. It's heroin in a pill. And they're the most addictive things that, if you already have a problem with the substances, which a lot of people do, or may not even know they do, but they do, it's really easy to get caught up in this shit. And it's, it's crazy when you see that it was socially acceptable by people. Everybody does it. Everybody's snorting pills. Nobody thinks anything of it. They're snorting legal fucking heroin up their nose. And I just think that the problem has started with, our own government. That's what I'm saying. They've made a business out of this, and now they have so many people hooked. It's time for us to shut up shop, man. We got to get them to stop. We have to, the market's been, this is what happens. They flooded the market with pills, and then they couldn't fucking, they got too many people hooked on pills, so they fucking went back, and then, pills get so expensive, everybody's hooked on them, and it's such a moneymaker, that lowers the price of heroin, and heroin's all you can get. It's hard to get your hands on the pills because they change the molecular formula of these pills, so you can't snort them up your nose or do things like you used to be able to. It's reality. It's fucking crazy, and it's sad, and it's pharmaceuticals. So many politicians and lobbyists have their fucking hands in pharmaceuticals. Oh, that fucking Dick Cheney guy that we've talked about before, Dick Cheney, he's a huge backer of pharmaceuticals. Huge. And all of them. They all have their hands in fucking pharmaceuticals. It's money maker, so they don't care. They don't want it to stop. Yeah, there's some people that are going to die. There's people that are going to have a problem, and families that are going to be ruined, and people that are going to lose their kids, and kids that are going to lose their parents, and they're like, yeah, that could happen, but there's a lot of money in this too, so they don't stop. It's a money making machine, and it's regulated by our government. They're legal drug dealers, and it's going on at every pharmacy in America. I worked in one, and it was going on at that pharmacy. And I don't know if I'm allowed to, if I'm getting in trouble for saying that. It's probably HIPAA. I probably could get arrested, but I don't care. That's what's going on. And the pharmacists know what's going on. The doctors, of course, know what's going on because the doctors are the ones that are continuing to let it go on. And law enforcement knows it goes on. It's real as it fucking real gets. And, if you want to call it, people call it disease, and they say addiction's a disease. And you can call it that all you want. I don't know what it is, but it's something, and it's fucking scary, whatever it is. When you see it take hold of somebody, and you look at them, and they don't have a soul. You look right through them. It's really how it is. You can't even see anything in their eyes. I can't. It's hard for me to explain. But if it's happened to you, if you've seen it, then you would know. But when you see it happen to your loved ones and your family, it's rough. It's really hard to, because you can't. And at first, when it happens, you're gonna say, what can I do to help that person? I'm going to do anything. I'll do anything I can to help that person. I'll give them money. I'll put them on my back. I'll do whatever I need to do to help that person. And you'll help that person. And then that person's going to stab you in the back. And, they're going to do it because of whatever it is that's in their life that's become more important than their life. And you shouldn't get discouraged because it's going to happen multiple times. You're going to let them slide and let them do something again, and they're going to do it again. They're going to do the exact same thing that you thought that was your best friend. He can never, ever do it, and he's going to do it again. And that's when it's really going to kill you because you're giving everything you can to help that person. And you would change your life to help that person, and it doesn't matter. Nothing is going to change for that person unless they change it. And it's really hard. You feel like you're giving up on somebody, but you're not giving up on them. You're doing everything you can because only they can fix them. You can help, you can guide, put some bumper rails out there for them to feel them out, but realistically, only you can understand you and if you have a problem. But it's, I'm tired of them putting my friends in the ground and my friends' families in the ground because of something that the government has put on these streets. And I've struggled with it. I know about it. I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people. It's like I just my nutsack just skimmed the surface. Like my nutsack hair just tickled it. Like I was really close. That's how I feel because I definitely had issues. I've definitely battled the demons. I met them in some cold, dark alleyways. And I have no problem with pills. I prefer not to do them. I prefer not to be around them unless they're good for me. As in like vitamins or medicine or shit. But I try to keep my distance. And to work in a pharmacy, even after battling these demons, that was something, that was a test for myself. And I don't think, a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think that's normal. But it's ripped our town apart, It's ripped tons of families, like I said, families I know apart. And it may end up heroin or this or that or whatever, but a lot of that shit stems from pills and medicines that are given and prescribed by doctors. Do you know that half the doctors, I would bet half, maybe less than half, maybe more than half, probably less than half, there's a lot of doctors out there that don't even, a new drug comes out. How do they know what the drug does when it comes out? When everybody has different side effects. They haven't given it to people to test it. They could read, they can read papers that are published and studies here and studies there of when this drug was used. But do they really know what that drug does to people? Other than reading the side effects and stuff like that, they know what it helps, but, so they give it to you. Well, you just became their guinea pig. You're just the first person in line that, you want to try a new blood thinner? Here, take this new blood thinner. They just did this shit to my grandpa. He had a stroke, and he couldn't eat. He's not eating or drinking. And so he's not eating and drinking. He had a stroke. Let's just put feeding tubes in him. They put feeding tubes in him, and they're feeding him water and food through the feeding tube, and he keeps throwing up. He can't hold anything down. And they can't figure out why. He won't hold nothing down. He can't do it. So they get him administered to the Cleveland Clinic because they thought something was weird, there. And they take him to the Cleveland Clinic. They say, is he taking that, what was it, Brillac or Berlenta? Was he taking that Berlenta? And they're like, yeah. Actually, he was. That's what they started him on. And they were like, the doctor said it's the Cadillac of blood thinners. And the guy at the Cleveland Clinic is like, take him off it right now. He's like, that's one of the side effects. You're not eating and you're nauseous. You can't eat. So they took him off it. He's fucking eating again on his own. Because a doctor knew what he was talking about and one didn't. And that's what I'm trying to explain with these pills and stuff in our pharmaceuticals and all this shit. It's crazy. I mean, it is fucking insane. You know, I mean, this shit is going on every day. And like I said, we're the guinea pigs. Somebody's going to figure it out. Hopefully it's not me, right? That's what everybody says. That's what everybody thinks. You know, but like I'm saying, you know, about Charles is he's a great friend, dude, heart of gold, and you know, he's gonna be deeply missed by I think anybody that knows him. He made a very big impact, you know, and he was always bouncing around different little towns, but I think everywhere he went, you know, he made a pretty big impact on people, and they remember him for something. He was kind of a jokester, a silly dude. And he will be missed by my friends. I know he's a good dude, and he's got a big family. I want to be mad and blame somebody and make it somebody's reason why this happened, or you know why. Again, I lose one of my friends, but you can't blame anybody. You know, it can't be nobody's fault. You know, what do you blame the police for not busting the heroin or getting it off the street? Like I said, where did it come from? Where did the problem come from? Because I bet you it goes back to pharmaceuticals, and it's like who do you blame? You blame him because he had a problem? A lot of people have that problem. You know? Do you blame the friends around him that sold it to him? No. They usually got a problem too. So it's just one big circle. You know? They get you hooked. And then, if you get arrested, they put you in jail. Then you come back out, and more than likely you're going to get busted again. Unless you got rehabbed at all when you went to prison. Because if not, then you just went to prison. You had a problem. You get dope sick if you don't get your stuff. So you have a problem. Then you get arrested because of your problem, and you go to prison or jail. You go to jail probably, and then you get out, and you still have a habit because nobody ever fixed that habit. They just put you in a fucking cage. They didn't fix anything. They let you lift fucking weights and read books. You know, and they didn't try to fix your issue at all. So they just let you sit for a drug offense that you were an addict and you had a problem, and they didn't fix it. At all. They leave you fucking to sit. And then so when you get out, you're going to say, well, I still have a problem. You know, it doesn't matter how long you sat. That's human nature. I hear somebody you saying that's exactly, you blame the cops because of that. Well, that's called the system. And it is a system, Matt. And when a system is made, usually that system is made for a reason. It functions for a reason. It's like a puppet master controlling the strings, or whatever they call that. The fucking puppeteer or whatever. He's covering all the different parts that moves. The head, the arms, legs, everything all at once. It's a system. So there's a system there. But is it that the cops work for the system? The cops don't. I don't think the cops made the system. Does that make any sense? The prison system, especially with drug offenders, they are there to make revenue. And then they figured now it's to the point where it's, oh wait, we got so many people in here for fucking marijuana charges. Like we don't have any room for that dude that just raped a little kid. It's like, oh, well maybe we shouldn't keep locking these people up. You know, their system still being etched out too. You know, there's problems with the criminal and drug system. But to say that cops are the reason that they're not getting rehabbed, that's got to come from that's not from the cops. That's got to come from up there. We need to do something new with our people that have drug problems. You know, and do I know what the answer to that is? No way. But there's got to be some kind of a reform. And I think the people that are in there for drug charges should be dealt with on a different, you know, they should be able to come back out and be like reevaluated for what they did wrong and to be judged again, you know, in like a drug court or something where you're not just held to the laws. Like you're, you know, depending on are you an addict? Do you need counseling? Do you need full rehabilitation? Do you need inpatient? Do you need outpatient? You know, they need to have something like that, I feel. You know, and if you did some fucking crazy shit for a bag of weed, you know, then maybe you should be in prison. But like I said, I want to blame someone. I want to be mad and I want to be angry and upset. But at the end of the day, we're all people. You know, we all make decisions, and I don't think anybody makes a decision that, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's a few out there, some like crazy psycho people, but nobody makes a decision unless people that, you know, want to end their life, that actually want to die, you know, and that's what makes it the hardest to take, because they didn't expect it. You didn't expect it. And when you die, man, it's something really hard for us to understand and like get through our heads, because we don't get it. We know everything's permanent, but when you die, you're dead. This isn't a movie. It's not a video game. You don't get an extra life. You're dead. There is no coming back. There's no talking. You don't see people in your dreams. I mean, I feel like I've seen some dead people in my dreams before, but that's a different topic. But you don't. That's it. You don't see. It's hard to wrap your brain around when you see someone every day or multiple times a week to nothing, to them never again, like they never existed. But you know that they're there. Only your memories are what carry you on. The only thing you do. Sometimes I find myself sometimes thinking about memories and it's like, did that really happen? You know, that person was real, but how long ago was this? You know, what did it really? Was it really like that? It's hard to get through your head. And that's, you know, that's the hardest reason for us as human beings, because we're the only mammal on this planet that knows we're going to die. No other animal knows it's going to die, or can have the brain capacity to understand that. We do. That's where religion comes from. That's where, you know, they're up there above us looking down at us, smiling, waiting for us. You know, that's what we tell ourselves, because that's how we understand it. That's how we understand death. Because we want to go to that place when we die. And it's real rough. It's really rough. I don't, you know, everybody should be able to believe whatever they want to believe. It's everybody's choice to believe. You know, whatever you tell yourself, whatever you need to tell yourself, whatever you believe, everyone can believe something different. It doesn't matter. You just have to know that I've learned this in I just feel, instead of, you know, I used to live every day like it was my last day. You know, growing up with these friends, some of these friends I lost, like my buddy Jesse and Charles and, you know, Baker and Casey Walters. I mean, all these people I used to hang out with, party with, and just go crazy with. Crazy. Insane. And, you know, I used to live, I don't know why I didn't die or why, you know, all the crazy things I did and just pushed it to the max, you know, every day, every second. You know, every day like it was my last. This could be my last hour. This could be my last minute. Let's just go crazy. And, you know, I don't live that way anymore. I mean, I definitely cherish each day. But I also want to experience tomorrow. Because I feel like I'm halfway to where I want to be, if that makes any sense. So I don't live every day like it's my last now. But I definitely enjoy each day as it comes. I live in the present. You know, I definitely still live in the present. That's never changed. I've always been in the present. But instead of worrying about dying tomorrow, I'm not worrying about dying anymore, if that makes sense. I was living to, you know, die. Now I'm dying to live. And it's a weird concept. And I think it's one of the first things that I've learned now that I've realized you're getting old, dude. Because I really enjoy each day more. And, you know, do I ever regret? Still never regret anything I did at all. I live that way for a reason. But I think it's made me enjoy life now even more. And I want everybody to be able to get to that and realize what that is and when it clicks someday. Because it's a fucking amazing feeling to have. It's beyond anything I can describe to you on this fucking radio show. And, you know, anybody that's, you know, listening, feel free to put in the comments or afterwards, you know, memories of you and Charles, you know, because I'm sure people have plenty of them. So anybody that listens to this, you know, pass it on, pass the story about Charles, because I know there's millions of them. The kid was so crazy. He was one of those kids, too, that was, like, so ditty, or, like, ditzy, that, you know, he was very gullible. You could get him to believe about anything, you know. But that's it. He always made you laugh, you know. He'd walk in the room with that little gimp that he had, and with that big old smile on his face, and you couldn't, you know, it just light up the whole room. You feel it. You feel it in your heart, dude, when you see that kid. And, you know, he was a solid, you know, when he put his mind to something, you know, he went all the way. I just remember wrestling with him. He would always stay the night at my house on weekends, and we'd get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, go weigh in for these little bitty tournaments, which is like biddies, like tournaments they have in like the off season for wrestling, where everybody goes to them. They have your weight classes and age divisions, and you just tournaments to practice pretty much. And we were like so cocky. You know, he was, I'm gonna deck that kid. I'm gonna deck that kid, pin that kid. Yep, stack that one up. It's like, dude, you know, he knew it, and then he'd go the next day, he'd do it. You know, both of us, we were so arrogant and full of ourselves, and we'd walk into the tournaments, kids like look at us like, oh man, not those kids. Those guys are coming to every one. You know, we drive wherever we had to drive just so we could be in one of those tournaments. But wrestling with him, you know, I feel like, you know, wrestling in general, anybody that's done wrestling knows that it's, you know, you got to be a certain kind of person. But we bonded He was definitely one of my brothers because of being a wrestler with me and going to battle with me many times, JV and varsity. And, he went and wrestled somewhere else, but, he made decisions that he had to make. So he, I can't even say how many people, dude, you've touched, Charles. Like, I know that you really are something special to a lot of people. And I kind of always knew it, but, I don't want to say your death made me realize it even more, but I knew you always did, but you had an effect on everybody that your life touched. So it's hard to send you off, brother. And, I don't know. Things won't be the same without you. Sasquatch Clan is we're a person shy because of you, man. I'm tired of losing members because it's not a good idea. I hate hearing that. It's we're Sasquatch boys till we die, bro. Back to the wrestling days, the fighting days. We caused a lot of trouble, bro. We caused a lot of trouble. We did a lot of bad stuff. But your positivity is going to be missed a lot in a day that these days we need more positivity and more people like you, dude. And it's it's a shame to see you fucking go. And we'll carry on for you, but it won't ever be the same. You're gonna be missed. Your family, man. My heart and my prayers are with all the members of your family that they stay strong and get through it, and all the people that were close to you. I hope that they keep it together and stay strong in this time, because this is when it's most important. And I know that's what you'd want, for everybody, not to be sad, for us to all carry on and continue to live our life. But, it's just like that feeling to never be able to spend time with you again, or kick it, or laugh at some crazy shit you did. That's kind of a bummer. And it's hard, man. I'm fighting back tears because I know that you'd laugh your ass off if I cried. But we, like I said, that positivity that you always carried with you, Charles, and that Charles always was about, for the most part. He, we need that now more than ever to be spread to everybody. And I know how much you meant to everybody, man, and I don't know if you knew how much you meant to me. I know in the last couple of years we just, we'd still see each other and we'd always act like we were good friends, but, we had both changed a little bit, and, I've always been your homie, though, ride or die, forever. That's never changed, you know that, and, just, I'm going to miss you, and I hate to have an episode like this, but you're someone that is that important to me that you deserved your own episode, and I know I'll never meet anyone like you, and that sucks. Like I said, man, if you could look over me, watch my back, like I know you always have, so shit ain't gonna change, but your positive spirit and your fucking life, that you shared with so many is gonna be, it's really gonna be a bummer. It's a downer. And, I'll end this. I got a little song wrapped up for you that, I'd share with you because, no matter what, RowdCAST will continue, and I know that you fucking love the RowdCAST, Charles, and know it because you fucking told me, and I know your brother has listened to it, and, whether you did or not, you'd still be talked about on this show, but I'm, I'll continue, man. I'll continue with this, and, you're never going to be forgotten. That's, people say that all the time. It's overused, probably gone, but never forgotten. You will never be forgotten, my friend. Ever. You'll live on inside of me, and, like I said, I just hope I have your positive energy that you always brought around, and, you deserve your own song. Like I said, you deserve your own episode. You were the man. Like I said, anybody that feels free to comment in the chat or on the Facebook post about Charles and shit you miss about Charles, because, like I said, I know I have so many stories. It's like I can't even think of any awesome ones, but he is just a fucking cool cat, man, and the RowdCAST, we all miss him at the RowdCAST. And, until we meet again, dude, that's all I can say. Keep on keeping on. I love all my friends. I love all the people that listen to the RowdCAST. I'm just going to continue to do this thing, and I hate to lose my buddies. And it's a terrible, terrible thing. I hope a lot of people that are dealing with death, I hope this episode helped you a little bit. Because there's a lot to live for, man. There's a lot to keep your life running smooth and nice and clean these days. There's a lot of reasons to keep it that way. And once you see the light, once you've been struggling for so long and you see it, and it's not the light, but it's something. And when you come to it and you realize that thing and what it is, when your life is different, there will be no looking back. You'll never second guess your choices because you'll know each one was right, one after another. I may be from Toledo now. I live here, but I'm born and raised in Bellevue, Ohio, and I come from that town. I know what goes on in that town, and I know if you're sitting there listening to this in that town or in some little town somewhere, and you feel like there's no way out, there's no help for you, that every day just, sucks, and, everybody is hooked on these things and these pills, and you can't get away from them, and they're just destroying your life. Just keep your head up, because anybody can get through it, and And when you do get through it, it's so worth it. So just know that your struggle is not in vain, and that there's something so much more important in life than getting high. And I love you guys all. Like I said, I hope this helps some people. And I appreciate it. I appreciate listening. And we'll be back next week with the 50th episode. I'm hoping to do something really awesome for that 50th episode. And we'll send Chuck off. Here's a little jam.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. See you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I'll see you again.
We've come a long way,
Yeah, we came a long way.
from where we began.
You know, we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I'll tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling stronger. With small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
R.I.P., buddy. R.I.P.